What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, and today we're talking about Concord, the next big PlayStation 5 exclusive, because this game is just bafflingly bad. I have now played about 40 hours of the beta and a little over 10 hours of the live game, and after having had a chance to test all 16 characters, win a lot of matches, and just generally go through the ins and outs, I gotta say, this game is incredibly undercooked, misbalanced, and frankly, not fun. But let me explain why. Hi, hope you're having a great day, and if you could please, give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. You know, it would actually mean a lot if we could get this to 3,000 likes, because this has been a rather frustrating review. At this point, I have been playing different stuff for 10 years professionally. I've been a YouTuber for about 12 years, and I've seen a lot of very failed online-only shooters. Stuff like, Lawbreakers, Battleborn, The Crucible, The Culling 2, Radical Heights, Evolved, just on and on and on. My point is the fact that so many of these companies are obsessed with trying to make some sort of living universe, some sort of game where they can sell you microtransactions and battle passes forever, and almost all of them immediately fail because even if this is good, even if Concord has its moments of excitement, the issue is the fact that, quite frankly, it's obviously not good enough. All these live service games are constantly competing for your attention, and this one just feels like another lazy, watered-down cash grab. PlayStation is so fixated on live service games. They've said they're working on like 10 of these, and honestly, so many of them feel like a weird, pointless pivot. PlayStation has made billions of dollars with their actually good single-player stuff. God of War, Uncharted, Spider-Man, that's what actually makes the money. But I think part of my frustration is that Concord, it never feels like a completed concept. So in Concord, this is a 5v5 hero shooter, meaning that instead of just being like your typical FPS with people that are all blasting each other, they have special abilities. So I have played all 16 characters. They're different to like quirky space heroes, but you get people like Tio. He's this soldier who can throw smoke bombs and very deadly grenades. There's somebody like Starchild, a damage soaker. He's able to turn into Diamond and rush into combat and use like a shotgun and bash people about. There's all sorts of people. Da, who can heal people. The Duchess, who's able to use like this special ability where she makes walls that you can walk through, but the enemies can't. What makes this game special, the primary unique component, is this crew bonus system. So while you're playing it, in the middle of a match, whenever you die, you can switch between heroes. You can't have two of anything, so it means like if one person's playing as Tio or one person's playing as the lady who can make firewalls, who's one of my personal favorites. Her name is pronounced like Hager. I don't know how to pronounce it, but the thing is that because you're constantly able to switch, there's this attack and reaction to it. So if the enemy is using a bunch of overly defensive abilities, if they've got two tanks and a bunch of heroes and they're just trying to hide in a corner, you can switch to people like the sniper and throw down some landmines, or try and just get some delicate hits by throwing a bunch of bombs and stuff behind them. So because of this, you're constantly switching, and whenever you're picking a hero, on the screen, you'll see this crew bonus thing. Each character, there's like different subtypes, and these people all have different bonuses. Certain heroes make it so you can aim faster or reload faster or get healed more. So you constantly need to worry about the balance of the other teammates. But this has an incredibly quick time to kill. Typically in hero shooters, part of the emphasis of it is the teamwork, the ability to play with your buddies in conjunction to win matches. 1v1 fights is typically not incredibly important in a lot of these hero shooters because it is about the unit. It is about working together as a cohesive unit. But now, because the time to kill is so incredibly quick, it really is just basically a shooter with special weird abilities. Now, the two parts of this that are kind of cool and kind of terrible is the fact that the major difference of Concord against other hero shooters is that your stuff stays. So a lot of these characters have special abilities that they can drop on the ground, placing stuff like landmines or shields or special barriers and stuff like that. And they stay even if you die or even if you switch characters, which means that part of the tactic of Concord is very early on pushing into a fight, figuring out what the enemy team is picking, and then a lot of times establishing a bunch of traps, putting down a bunch of barriers or suction machines or stuff that's going to slow them down or funnel them into a particular part of the map, and then maybe switching to a different character that fits their meta a bit better. The problem with this is that there are no ultimate abilities. Typically in hero shooters, one of the biggest mechanics of it is that by sticking with a particular character in a match, you'll get some sort of super skill, a bigger ability that charges up, that makes it where you can actually sway the outcome of the fight. If you're losing, saving up a super attack a lot of times can help catch up. It can sort of just sway things. It's this interesting rubber band of one person gets ahead, one person gets behind, and ultimate attack can kind of level things out. The lack of super abilities makes it so that every character, in my opinion, feels a bunch more useless, feels weaker, feels crappier. Even if you're getting a bunch of kills, like I've gotten a bunch of kill streaks and stuff like that, everything about this feels incredibly weak. And I think part of it comes down to the fact that the game modes are just not fun. So there is a bunch of training modules. If you ever want to practice this, there are like time trials and target ranges and stuff like that. But even training feels kind of useless because winning isn't fun. So the modes are essentially kill modes, where you're just trying to kill the enemy team for like 30 kills as fast as possible, or there's objective modes, but the objective modes are just capture the point. Now, you get to respawn in these matches. The ranked mode, which doesn't work right now for me, that's where there's permadeath. I played a lot of this in the beta, but it makes it where it's like Counter-Strike, where whenever you die, you can't respawn. You actually have to wait until the next round. So that's where it does feel like the meta is currently based around, like, okay, now I need to communicate, I need to actually coordinate which classes, which characters, which buffs, which bonuses are actually crucial. But the weird thing is that even with that permadeath mode, which is interesting, nobody's playing it. Nothing about this game actually manages to excite me. I think one of the parts of this that I do give them credit for is that Concord is not filled with crappy eShop items, you know? A lot of these live service games, they just immediately shove a bunch of microtransactions down your throat, constantly like, oh, check out the store page. Oh, new thing unlocked. In this, you pay $40 for the game itself. You can buy it on PC or you can buy it on PS5. And then once you buy it, you have access to everything. Like leveling up does not give you new characters or new skills or anything like that. Leveling up just gives you new cosmetics, new colored costumes, new little tiny trinkets you can equip to your gun and stuff like that. I think my biggest problem is that, honestly, not to be rude, these characters look so painfully generic. I mean, I've watched Guardians of the Galaxy, I've read a lot of Marvel comics and DC comics and stuff. These look like those weird B-tier heroes that they introduce for a single issue just to kill them off. Like a lot of these guys, I mean, everybody looks so generic. They're background characters to the real heroes having real fun. They have these weird cutscenes, like I guess you're supposed to like establish the world of it. There's like a weird map you can look at and stuff that gives you like different storyline about the Concord universe. I guess this is perhaps the most baffling part, is that that's clearly expensive. They clearly spent a ton of money actually animating this stuff that nobody's going to watch. I watched it because it's my job, but even I was tempted to hold the circle button and skip it because these characters' names, their faces, their background, none of this actually matters. It's a hero shooter. I'm here to be a hero and do some shooting. I am baffled by how undercooked this feels. It does not excite me. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm probably going to platinum it. The trophies are pretty dang easy. Most of the trophies are like, hey, go get 10 kills with every character, get 50 kills with every character, heal 500,000 damage. I'm probably going to platinum it just because this is going to be one of those rare platinums that nobody will have. I feel like this game's going to sell 6 copies, and already it's me and my friends who have been playing it. My buddies and I have been playing it. Yesterday, one of my best friends bought it with me because he did enjoy the beta. The final version of the game feels sloppier. It runs worse. He actually sent me this gameplay warning, trigger warning. Look how terrible this runs. That's on a high-end PC. It has frame sticking. This game may get good at one point. Part of the difficulty of reviewing live service games is that you guys, this video is forever. At some point in 6 months, 8 months, 5 years, maybe it'll suddenly be a good game and people bring up this video and go, oh, DreamcastGuy hated Concord. Well, look, as it currently exists on April, what the hell is it? August 21st, 2024, do not buy it. They're going to have to either fix this game or put it in PlayStation Plus or something, because as it currently exists, heck no. I'm not even trying to insult the developers. I'm just in this spot where I am frustrated that clearly people that understand good movement, good running, good graphics, good layout, I feel like the color palette, the way that these stages are constructed, there's a lot in this that is correct. The problem is that when I pull the trigger, I'm not having fun. And if you can't get that right, your game is dead. But these have just been some off-the-cuff thoughts. I mean, I guess it's not off the cuff. I have a big script in front of me, but I'm annoyed. What do you guys think about Concord? If you could, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And please, keep dreaming. I'm actually mad. Sometimes I'm kind of less like goofy and love to rant and rave, but I'm actually annoyed that I spent $60 for this. I paid for the early access edition, $60 for this out of my own pocket, and it's just bad. What the heck? Give me another Uncharted or something, not this.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.